The central command deck of the Krathian Empire's flagship Dominion's fist hummed with the usual efficiency of a well-oiled war machine. Holographic displays flickered across the obsidian walls, showing star maps, fleet positions, and enemy movements across 17 sectors. Commander Elsa stood at the tactical station, her silver uniform pristine, her eyes scanning the data streams with practiced precision. For 3 centuries, the Krathian Empire had ruled this arm of the galaxy with absolute authority. Their archives contained every known vessel, every registered signature, every conceivable threat. Nothing moved through space without their knowledge. Until now. Commander Elsa, the sensor technician's voice cracked slightly. We have an anomaly. Elsa turned, her expression unchanged. Anomalies were rare but not unprecedented. Specify. Unknown vessel, bearing 270 Mark 15. Distance, 4 million kilometers and closing. The entire command deck fell silent. Elsa felt a chill run down her spine, not from fear, but from the impossibility of what she'd just heard. She moved swiftly to the central holodable, her fingers dancing across the haptic interface. Run it through the archives, she commanded. Full spectrum analysis. The AI core of the Dominion's fist, a quantum processor capable of cross-referencing trillions of data points per second, initiated its scan. Elsa watched the probability matrices cascade across the display. Krathian, human, Velkari, synthoid, every known civilization, every rebel faction, every pirate clan. The result flashed in stark crimson text, no match found. That's impossible, Elsa whispered. She ran the scan again, same result. Her hand trembled slightly as she magnified the sensor feed. The ship was small, barely frigate class, but its design was unlike anything in the Imperial database. Smooth, organic curves mixed with geometric precision. The hull material absorbed and reflected sensor waves in patterns that shouldn't exist according to known physics, and its energy signature. By the void, breathed Lieutenant Corvin from the engineering station. That power reading can't be right. It's outputting more energy than our entire battle group. Elsa's mind raced. In her 15 years of service, she had faced rebellion, invasion, and cosmic phenomena that defied explanation. But an unarchived ship, that meant one of 2 things. Either their archives had been catastrophically compromised, or they were looking at something that had never before entered Imperial space. Hail them, Elsa ordered. All frequencies, standard Imperial protocol. The communications officer worked frantically. Minutes passed, no response. Commander, the vessel is maintaining course. Current trajectory will bring it within weapons range in 18 minutes. Elsa made her decision. Battle stations, shields to maximum, charge main cannons but do not lock targets. I want every scanner we have focused on that ship. Alarms blared throughout the Dominion's fist. The crew moved with practiced efficiency, years of training overriding the nervousness that rippled through the command deck. Elsa opened a channel to Fleet Admiral Thrain. Admiral, we have a situation. Aboard the unknown vessel, Verk checked his navigation display one final time. The calculations had been precise. 300 years of drift through the void, guided by quantum entanglement beacons that had outlived entire civilizations. He'd spent most of that time in cryosleep, but the automated systems had done their job flawlessly. Home, or what remained of it. Verk ran his hand across the control panel, feeling the familiar texture of materials forged in humanity's last foundry. The Wanderer's hope had been old even when his mission began, a relic from Earth's golden age of exploration, before the convergence, before everything changed. His display showed the Krathian flagship ahead. Impressive, he admitted. The Empire had grown powerful in his absence. Their technology had advanced, their military expanded, but they were still using fusion reactors and plasma weapons, child's toys compared to what he carried. A communication request pinged on his console. Multiple frequencies, aggressive encryption protocols, the unmistakable signature of a military hail. Verk smiled sadly. They didn't recognize him. Of course they wouldn't. Humanity had been gone for 3 centuries. He ignored the hail. There would be time for explanations later. First, he needed to find what remained. The Wanderer's Hope adjusted course slightly, angling toward the 3rd planet in the system, a blue-green marble that his sensors confirmed still sustained an atmosphere. Earth. Changed, certainly. Probably scarred by whatever had come after, but still there. His long-range scanners detected the Krathian fleet repositioning, weapons charging. Standard procedure when facing an unknown. Verk's fingers hovered over his own weapons systems, dormant for 300 years but still functional. He could obliterate the entire fleet with a single shot from the Singularity cannon, but that wasn't why he'd returned. "Come on," Verk muttered to himself. "Remember the protocols, first contact procedures. Don't shoot at what you don't understand." Another alert. The Krathians were launching interceptors. Elsa watched the fighter wings deploy from the Dominion's Fist and her sister ships. 48 of the Empire's finest pilots, each commanding a vessel capable of leveling a small moon. Interceptors will reach engagement range in 90 seconds, reported Tactical. The unknown ship made no defensive maneuvers. It simply maintained course, moving with unsettling precision toward the 3rd planet, the agricultural world the Empire had terraformed 200 years ago after finding it mysteriously abandoned. "Commander," the sensor technician said urgently, "I'm detecting a transmission from the unknown vessel. It's old, pre-imperial encryption." "Put it through." Static filled the command deck. Then a voice, human, male, speaking in a dialect that predated the Empire's linguistic standardization. "Krathian vessels, this is the Earthship Wanderer's Hope, registration Echo Hotel 772. I am Lieutenant Verk Chen of the Terran Exploration Corps. I mean no harm. I'm returning home." The command deck erupted in confused murmurs. Elsa raised her hand for silence, her mind processing the impossible claim. Earthship, Terran. Those were myths, legends from the Empire's founding era. The archives mentioned humans, the civilization that had supposedly preceded the Krathians on dozens of worlds before mysteriously vanishing. But that was ancient history. No human vessel had been seen in 3 centuries. "Recall the interceptors," Elsa commanded. "Now." "Commander," Corvin questioned. "Do it." She opened a direct channel. "Unidentified vessel, this is Commander Elsa of the Krathian Imperial Fleet. You claim to be Terran. Our records indicate no Terran vessels have operated in this sector for over 300 years. Explain yourself." A pause, then Verk's voice returned, tinged with something that might have been sadness. "Commander, I've been away for a long time. My mission was to chart the Perseus Arm and return with data on potentially habitable worlds. When I left Earth, your empire didn't exist. The Krathians were still a pre-spaceflight species on their homeworld. We were going to make first contact with you, eventually, when you were ready." Elsa felt the deck shift beneath her feet, not physically, but the entire foundation of what she understood about history. The Empire's creation myth spoke of rising from primitive roots through their own ingenuity. But if this Verk was telling the truth, "Prove your identity," she demanded. "Check your planetary archives. The world you call Harvest 3, the abandoned agricultural planet you terraformed. Look at the oldest structures near the equator. You'll find a research station. Terran construction. Inside, there's a data cache with our cultural history, scientific knowledge, and a message." Elsa signaled to her research team. Minutes passed in tense silence as they accessed the planetary database. Her display suddenly filled with images, ancient buildings, their design radically different from Krathian architecture. Pre-imperial dating confirmed. Age, approximately 300 years. The lead researcher's voice trembled. "Commander, there's a message file. It's addressed to whoever finds it. The signature matches the encryption on this vessel's transmission." "Play it." A hologram materialized above the command table. A younger Verk, wearing a blue uniform with an unfamiliar insignia, stood before the camera. "To whoever finds this, my name is Lieutenant Verk Chen. If you're watching this, then something has happened to prevent Earth civilization from continuing our mission. We had plans for 37 worlds, including yours. We were going to guide younger species, share knowledge, help you reach the stars safely. But if I'm not here to deliver this personally, then those plans failed. I hope whatever comes after us learns from what we left behind. We meant well. We tried to be good neighbors to a galaxy we barely understood. Please take care of these worlds, and if by some miracle I do return, tell me what happened. Tell me what became of humanity." The hologram faded. Elsa stared at the empty space where it had been, her worldview fracturing and reassembling in a new configuration. The Empire hadn't risen alone. They'd built their civilization on the bones of one that had tried to help them. She opened the channel to Verk. "Lieutenant Chen, you're cleared for approach. Welcome home." "Thank you, Commander." A pause. "Is Earth, is it still habitable?" Elsa glanced at her planetary data. The world below was thriving, cities, farmland, oceans teeming with life. But it wasn't humanity's anymore. "It's changed," she said carefully. "But yes, it's beautiful. I think you'll want to see it." As the Wanderer's hope descended toward the planet that had once been the cradle of human civilization, Elsa made a decision. This encounter would be reported to Fleet Command, certainly. But she would also recommend something unprecedented. That Lieutenant Verk Chen be given full honors, not as a potential threat or curiosity, but as a representative of the civilization that had made the Empire's existence possible. The unknown ship had arrived, and with it, a truth that would reshape everything the Krathians believed about themselves. In his cockpit, Verk watched his homeworld grow larger in the viewport, tears streaming down his face. 300 years, gone, but Earth remained. And now, finally, he could rest.